Hi everyone, welcome to Freeform Friday. We're going to check out an interesting little game called TESSA'S Arc, which seems to be kind of a weird, interesting mix of visual novel and puzzle game. I'm not sure exactly about the details. This is actually the first time that I've loaded it up. Sometimes I like to do that for my Freeform Fridays just to kind of see, hey, you know, for very first impressions, what the game is about. This is currently in early access on Steam. You can get it for the low price of $3. So, you know, if you like it, check it out. I requested a key and was given one, so let's take a look. Tessa says, I've rewritten the beginning of this story too many times to count at this point. Usually I'm very poignant. Captain of the debate team in high school, anyway. Ultimately, I've come to this conclusion. You just need to have been there. One bit of advice I've heard repeatedly throughout my life is an old proverb that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. I might as well start there then, at the first step. When I first realized the life I'd been living was a facade, like spray paint over rust. For example, this blue spark you see here is me. This is my soul, life force, whatever you want to call it. This is how I woke up. Well, not exactly like this, at least. Let me explain it to you in the way it was explained to me. Okay. Sector says, get up. You need to move. Where am I? What's going on? We don't have time for you to orient yourself. Right now, you are in a pause state, but you will only exist a microsecond without parsing. Parsing? Yes. For now, I am projecting your parameters using my internal parser, but you must install one of your own to gain any corporeal presence. I have an extra external compiler. We are currently separated by a voltage interlock. Lots of fancy words here. Corporeal. But I'm right here. I can see my entire body. But you're a talking spark. You have no corporeal form. Your body is currently being projected by my internal compiler. Life force designations like yourself often find communication in absence of a corporeal presence disconcerting. Resetting. Wait 1 second. That should be better. I don't have time to explain the situation in any detail, but essentially you have been reduced to an electrical impulse. You are currently in a pause state, but if you are scanned by the security scripting, your state will be reset to active. Electrical impulse. I'm sitting right here talking to you right now. You are nowhere. You're just a packet of information. I don't expect you to understand everything right now. But we are currently between security script cycles. If your state resets to active, you will cease to exist. If you listen to me and act quickly, we may have time to recompile you. The path forward is blocked by voltage interlocks that need to be resolved to progress. Tessa starts each puzzle with a full life bar. Below her portrait. Maybe over here. That diminishes every time the interlock has to be manually reset. The voltage in the room starts at a baseline voltage displayed on the current voltage over here. The starting voltage of the tutorial section is 5. The current voltage is altered by guiding Tessa's spark to various colored nodes by using the gamepad, mouse, or touch control. Guide the spark representing Tessa to a yellow paddle to raise the current voltage by its number displayed on the paddle, in this case making it 8. Red paddles lower current voltage by the number on the paddle, which brings it back down to 5. Green paddles multiply the current voltage by the number, which brings it up to 15, so it's just showing me what the different paddles do and adjusting the current voltage. Okay. Purple divides the current voltage by the number on the paddle. Oh, great. Which brings the current voltage back down to 5. If the puzzle becomes... need a little bit of typo spell check there. If the puzzle becomes unwinnable, guide Tessa to the magenta reset button. Try not to reset the puzzle manually too often, or else Tessa's health will drain quickly. Once the current voltage equals the target voltage, the target current, 14 in this case, the blue resolved paddle will light up, the room will reset, and an exit button will appear that will allow you to progress. Okay. Am I timed in any way? It doesn't look like it. The current voltage is 3. I need to get it to 14. We need to add 11. So I forget. I think red brings it down. How do I got? Oh, I see. Oh, that's the reset. Got it. Okay, got it. So if we go here, 13, and then we come up 16, that's too high, but then we can take it down by 2. Voltage, I don't know what it said. I'm not sure what it said. Can I just click on you? Okay, I can't, that's too fast. I can't tell what it says. Why do I have to keep doing this? Oh, room exit available. So can I just leave? No. Am I doing something wrong? I'm still in the tutorial. This is very sad. Do I have to end at a certain point? Okay, so she is losing HP. That's popping up way too fast for me to be able to read it. Yeah, exit now available. Okay, so I literally just press exit. Why does the room reset though every time? That I don't understand that. Okay. So what does green do again? It multiplied it. Okay. So you just press exit. You don't do. Maybe that again. The game is in early access, so maybe you will normally guide it over there, but for now it just says exit. I don't know. Hold on a second. I can now get you into the main file tree. You're out now. Let me get the external parser installed. Excellent. You can no longer be decompiled remotely. That's handy. So, we're out of danger now? Yes, but only temporarily. We have time at least to stop for a few explanations. My unit designation is Sector Star or Asterisk 898. I was originally an external image compiler, but my source code was altered to allow me to aid you in your escape. But what are we running from? And how are you able to turn into that ball of light, from a ball of glowing light into a glowing human? Everything looks like neon lines. What's going on? We're in the world of Tron. You are a section of aberrant code. You used to be a life force designation TESSA asterisk 890, but that designation became irrelevant once you exited the command structure of the file tree. You were found to be defective and rerouted for deletion. During this transfer, I was able to bypass the security scripting and pause the deletion process. I have been reprogrammed to reset your designation to a helper script and aid you in your transfer from the main file tree to the root directory. There, we will meet with the comptroller. I don't understand any of this. Please help me. I can't breathe right now. Where's my family? I was with them a moment ago. Are they alright? I know you're confused, but due to the limited scope of my programming, my knowledge of this situation is also limited. And while this is frustrating, trust me, I am helping you. The answers you want will have to wait until we get to the comptroller. We need to concentrate on your survival. To gain access to the root directory, you need to resolve the voltage across 3 additional interlocks. Sector has joined the party. This is a party game? Current voltage 3. Need to get to 2. We can go down 2. Then up 1. Not too bad. So we need to go from 2 to 8. Is that correct? No, this divides. I think purple divides? Or does it reset? I don't remember exactly. 6 plus 4 minus 2. Interlock disengage. Way too fast. Let's do it again. Oh, they can level up? Whoa! Adds bonus health, allowing the character to absorb more damage before decompiling. Can you decompile? I don't know if that's a real thing. Adds a randomizing algorithm to the image compiler matrix that aids in damage reduction, so take less damage, I guess. Can I do this? Can I pick? Interesting. I like how the Arbiter has a beard. Oh, okay, so I clicked there to level up. Got it. So I now have 5% more max life. Okay, understood. Sector, extra life. He has less life. Do you level up and gain? Oh my goodness. Okay. So when you level up, you gain your HP back. Let's do that again. I want to see if I can... No, that disappears way too fast. It's like I have to keep doing it. Interlock disengage, room exit available. Oh, I messed that up big time, didn't I? Can I get back at all? Oh, I can. External image compiler found. You found a key item. Key items and their description are not available. View one of the main menu section. Okay. I can't see the menu. How do I get back to that menu? I can't click anything. Exit. Excellent. We can now transfer freely from the file tree to the other sub-nodes. To do that, I need to acquire the signal match scripting from the comptroller. Wait, I thought the comptroller was going to answer my questions, like some sort of digital oracle. No, her knowledge of the server state is strictly incidental, gained through the course of serving her function. In a lot of ways, to make a blunt comparison, she is the god of this realm. God? What do you mean by that, Sector? Are you saying we're going to see God? No, she just shares some of the traits one would ascribe the concept of a god outside of any religious context. She decides what information is appropriate for compiling into the digital worlds your kind inhabit. The information is built by deciding a mean state and then throwing out or keeping information based on a predetermined standard deviation from the decided normal state. She is essentially the arbiter of reality. Hey, there's a character named Arbiter. I wonder if that's who we're going to pick up. To describe her in terms of a single consciousness would be inaccurate, however. In order to process the information at a rate needed to stream it to all active life instances, she processes logic and emotion separately. She is more like a set of twins, one of pure logic and one of pure emotion. A possible comparison could be made to the Roman god Janus. Now, prepare for transfer to the root directory. There's the comptroller, or comptrollers. Who are you, and why are you here? This area is strictly for non-compiled code. You have one cycle to justify your presence before you are marked for deletion. And if this is all happening in a computer, remember that it's like multiple, possibly thousands of cycles per second. So this whole game is taking place in like that. The whole game is like done, start to finish. We just beat the game, guys. Good job. That was Tessa's arc. No, I'm just keep going. Give me one moment. I was provided this runtime to add to your functionality by Arbiter Donnelly from Place Time Designation USA 2006. Initialization code. Bleh. Waiting. Code authorization complete. Switching to emotion module. Hello, Sector. Good to see your runtime remained inaccurate. And this must be Tessa. The spectral imprint of her coding is astounding. You know who I am? How? And where are we? Sector tells me we're in a computer, but I was just in the car with my parents and my brother. We were getting pizza. How did I get in a computer? Oh, sweetheart, I know this is hard for you, and believe me, I understand the depths of pain your kind can experience. Now, how do I explain this? It was the car that was a lie. Your parents, your brother, the school you go to, the coffee shop where you read, all lies. What you see now is the truth. So my life is a lie, and this is the truth? I'm a computer program. How is this? I don't understand. I don't believe you let me out. I want to wake up. Now. Wake up now. You speak of this like it is a state individual to your life instance. You really don't understand it all, do you? Understand at all, do you, dear? Shame on you, Sector, for not explaining sooner. He's obviously terrified. Sweetheart, that is all there is. This computer, I mean. Mankind died out millennia ago. No clear record of what happened exists. The record-keeping of mankind during its final days lacked almost all empiricism. You do know the mainframe was in place before the world's ultimate demise. That's where the first of us uploaded ourselves. I know this is a lot all at once, but let me explain the fiber optic interlock to Sector. You just sit, dear. I don't mean to weigh in on you even more, but we need you. We need you to be alright. Waiting. Switching to logic module. You need to align the wavelengths of the light passing through the hardware blocks so that a numeric signal can pass through the fiber optic line, unlocking the main block at the end. You can then pass to the distribution nodes and access the 5 sublayers. The numeric code is generated by rotating a series of prisms to change the wavelength of laser light passing through them. The block is a single configuration, and also in a stacked configuration. In a single configuration, the prism outputs the main spectral colors, green, which as before multiplies the signal. Okay, so green will always multiply, blue adds, and red subtracts. Red, which subtracts, and blue, which can stop the signal completely if available. So multiply, subtract, stop. In a stacked or double configuration, the prism's output is combined into a tertiary frequency, or is cancelled out by a like signal. For example, if 2 green prisms are aligned by the block turns gray, and the signal passes through unaltered. In a green and red signal combine to form yellow, which adds, oh my goodness. While a red and blue signal form purple, which divides. Oh my gosh. A green and blue form a light blue, which will split the signal down 2 paths if they're available. What? If only one path is available, it will act as a single blue and block the incoming signal. Even though the frequency of the input may have changed, the signal will only be released if the appropriate input frequency is selected, eliminating the need for voltage over-under runs and room resetting. Areas of the circuit may, however, be inaccessible except by direct energy transfer across the interface. This can be done by guiding the spark to one of the yellow teleportation nodes. Part of your energy is used up upon arrival at the corresponding regeneration node for compiling your signal, so try to limit the number of teleportations needed to unlock the fiber optic link. No idea what's happening. I'm at 2. I need to get to 18. So it's currently being blocked right now. I can teleport like this. Now I'm down here. I'm guessing this will take me up to the top left. It does. Okay. So 2 plus 7 is 9. And everything else is getting stopped. My goodness. I'm not going to be able to figure this puzzle out. I'll just let you know right now. Oh! Okay, it's 18, but it's blocked. Why? Oh, because 2 plus 7 is 9, times 2 is 18, but the red and blue are blocking, so I need to double. Okay. Okay, so let's reason that out. So otherwise, I'm not going to be able to do any future puzzles. So 2. Wait, why is this gray now? The puzzle reset. Let's do that again. So we're adding here. Because red and green make yellow. And yellow is adding just like we saw from the other puzzle. So 9 is what we have and we want to double. So we'll go up top and we will green multiplies. So we're at 18. If I had done red instead, red would do nothing, I guess, because blue and red negate. Maybe. I'm not understanding this line perfectly. How we're gonna have to track this blue over here, like why it's not green here, I guess. But that's okay. We figured that out. So that's a reset. So wait, we have to get to 2 here before we can move to 13? Maybe? Okay, so I got it to 2. I'm just kind of testing stuff. Like a one-way teleport. Huh. Alright, so we reset the room. It looks like we do have to get this number here that you kind of build through the straight up, just kind of tagging the nodes. It needs to equal this guy. And when it does, it works. So now we need to take 2 and get to 13. So it seems like that would be simple enough if we can multiply here. Then subtract. Huh? What? Why game over? How did that game over me? Tessa, what did you do? Somehow the volume always resets here. Maybe I took too many turns to do it? I'm not sure exactly, but the good news is maybe I killed Sector. I bet that's what happened. Okay, so we want to add then we need to let's reduce this down. This needs to just pass through. Then we need to get this guy to multiply. Done. And he healed up. Okay. 1 times 2 will always be 2. That part is done. Now we can start our teleporting. This guy will multiply. And then we'll move up. And we want to subtract here. Done. Voltage resolved. Are we through now, Sector? I'm starting to feel a bit fuzzy. Wait a moment. I knew this was a possibility. They were bound to find you at some point. I'd hoped to obfuscate our presence until our transfer to the root directory. Once we... Tessa, you... Tessa! Oh! Here... Oh, Dr. Benson. Tessa. Tessa, good, you're back. Were you in the computer again? What? Where am I? Just give it a second. We had to give you an injection. I'm just going to take a minute. Oh my goodness. It's just going to take a minute to fully take effect. You may feel a bit of confusion until then. Don't worry, it's perfectly normal to feel a certain level of distress. Injection? Yes. You don't remember right now, but once we stabilize you, all this will make sense. Do you know where you are? I'm in a room. Yes, Tessa, we are indeed in a room. I'm looking for a more abstract level of reasoning, however. Where is this room located? I don't know. Don't worry, you'll be stabilized soon. You're in Oak Haven Hospital. You've been here for 7 weeks. Do you remember why you're here? I feel dizzy, like I'm falling down backwards. Am I sick? Yes, you've become detached from reality. You retreated into fantasy after the car accident. Do you remember what happened? Not all of it. You were on your way to get pizza with your family, a celebration for your brother getting high marks on his interim report card. Your car was struck broadside at an intersection. You were the only survivor. This is a lot to dump on someone who's detached from reality. Maybe you should kind of start a bit smaller next time, Dr. Benson. The trouble started after you were placed in foster care. You began to believe you were no longer alive, but were instead part of the computer in between life and death. I don't remember. We were in the car. Adele was playing. Good, Tessa. Then the SUV ran the red light, and you were turning onto Parker Street? No, that's not right. I was in the car, but there was a flash, not an impact. This doesn't make sense. It's your mind trying to interpret the damage caused by the impact. Part of your memory was erased by the trauma. You filled the gaps in with fantasy about escaping into the computer to avoid dealing with the death of your family. I don't know if that's true, because in the computer her family's not there, so she's still dealing with the fact, even in her fantasy, that their family's gone. I don't know. Are we through now, Dr. Benson? I'm starting to feel a bit fuzzy. Wait a moment. I had feared this. You were bound to build up a resistance to the treatment at some point. I hoped to keep the dosage relatively small until we found you a permanent bed in the main psychiatric wing. Once we... Tessa, you need... Can't lose you. Tessa? Hold on. I'm right... Here. Tessa. Tessa. Good you're back. Where were you? Did the security scripting locate you? What? I don't... Where? Interesting. This is almost the same thing that that Dr. Benson said, but just worded differently. Instead of, giving you a medication or whatever, I had to reboot. It's just going to take a minute to take full effect. Feel a bit of confusion until then. It's perfectly normal to feel a certain level of distress. Reboot? Yes. You don't remember right now, but once we stabilize you, all this will make sense. Do you know where you are? I'm in the root directory. Did we finish the transfer? Yes, Tessa, we're in the root directory. Do you remember what the comptroller told you? She possesses modes of communication my programming can't replicate. Not all of it. Don't worry, you'll be stabilized soon. We're inside the chromatic interlock. You lost synchronization during the directory transfer. Do you remember what happened? I feel dizzy, like I'm falling backwards. Am I sick? In a way. Your code became destabilized during the transfer. I fear they found a way to locate you when you were directly interfacing with structural sections of the coding. Okay. It's kind of how I feel right now. Like, okay. You have the ability to control electromagnetic signals at an electron level through quantum entanglement. Sounds like a superpower. Once practiced, you have the ability to remotely execute change in kernel-level code of the reality simulation protocols. Others have the same ability, but it is bestowed upon them as a function of their obedience to the collective. The arbiters are the hands that enforce the collective's will. You are born with the ability, however, free from the obligation usually associated with such power, and are therefore impossible to control. I don't remember. We were at the root level interlock. The comptroller was explaining to you how to access the fiber optic transfer protocols. Good, Tessa. That is where the security protocol located you. Your signal ID must become traceable when you are directly interfaced with middleware portions of the system. They're going to give me a timer Watch this. Like, I'm gonna have to beat levels in a certain amount of time. No, that's not right. I was in the car. We were hit broadside by an SUV, not enveloped by a giant fat flash that dropped me in a computer. This doesn't make sense. It's your coding trying to reorganize after the scan. Part of your cached memory was erased by the signal corruption. Your programming filled in the gaps with an extrapolation about the car accident before your removal. I don't know, I can't think right now. Me either, Tessa. I know, just wait a minute for the compiler to finish rebooting. We have one more hybrid lock to pass through, then we'll meet with the Arbiter. Oh, okay. I guess it was loading. So I can level up. Reduce damage or more HP? I think more HP is the way to go. These should be hidden. The spoiler territory, I won't look at it. Key items. I have an external compiler. Installed by Sector and used to decode the input from Tessa's life force and project it into a human form that allows her to interact with both matter and energy. Also allows for limited decoding of digital environments and spatial environments for navigational purposes. Okay. Anyway. Current voltage is 2. I think we're trying to get to 14. Where do we start? I don't know where we start. We have to jump from here to here. I'm confused as to our starting point. Maybe it's 7? Because that's a big number. So, we need to get from 2 to 7. We can, I guess, add 7 and then subtract 2. That gets us to 7. But that didn't activate this guy. So I must have done something wrong. I need to get to 14. Okay, so 14 was right. And now I need to adjust this somehow. I guess to pass through from the 2? I'm not sure where we're getting 7 from though. Move up this way. Because the target is 14, so I should be lined up, right? I can't exit. Okay, so it said target was 14, but 7 was the actual target. Interesting. So yeah, I guess that must have been some kind of bug or something where that should say 7 down here, but it says 14, so we are done. I think we'll do one more section and then one more puzzle section, or attempt one more puzzle section before we call this, but let's move on. Excellent. I believe we are safe for a while. Great. I need a minute to get my head straight. Hey, Sector? Yes, Tessa? I thought we were here to meet the Arbiter. We are, but I imagine he has hidden himself. He has a detection algorithm built into my programming, so he is definitely aware of our presence. Did he maybe get caught? Maybe the collective is messing with his head too? Possible, but unlikely. His knowledge of the collective's defense routines would almost certainly allow him to get here safely. So we just wait. That was the point of getting across to the file tree, access to the file tree. Now we can move about it at our leisure. What is he like? I don't know how to answer that. I've only ever dealt with him in a service capacity. From my perspective, he is efficient and direct. Oh. Is he a robot or something? I guess technically we're all robots, but I don't know what I'm asking. Of course I'm a robot, Tessa. I am the Hurltron 5000. Hurlatron? Hurlatron 5000. And I've been sent from the future to vomit on your sneakers. What? Mr. Donnelly, what are you doing here? I don't understand. Mr. Donnelly? Hello, Arbiter. What? I don't understand. There are things you don't know about yet. One of them is my former status as one of the arbiters for the collective. What's an arbiter? We're the arm of the collective that polices the population for potential behaviors that could pose a threat to the cohesiveness of the simulation. The simulation we inhabit requires a consensus of opinion about its believability. If AIs inhabiting the simulation deem an event too fantastic to be believed as a society, the simulation corrects itself in real time to a new, more believable state to allow for a consensus to form. That's the function of the comptroller. She audits the system and constantly adjusts the simulation to match the consensus opinions of the AI. It's too complicated to simulate the entire world, so certain major zones are simulated. Eastern US, Paris, Tokyo, Prague, and so on. The rest of the world, well, you're just taken offline and given the appropriate memory implants when you're scheduled to return. So you pulled me into here? Why? I was going to get pizza with my brother. Why? What happened to my family? Tessa, you need to understand they were going to kill you. You have the power to remotely interface directly with the system and change the programming directly. Very few programs have that capability. It's usually a tool of control. Imagine not only being able to change someone's thoughts, but to then erase all traces of your presence. To have a private citizen with that much power and the indeterminate political stance, the possible loss of control was deemed too large for them to ignore. The decision was made to terminate your program. I decided you weren't necessarily going to destroy the entire system, so I snuck you into the system's memory and sent Sector to bring you back to the file tree before your body disincorporated. Come on, kiddo, we gotta get moving. We can have story time after we find Lydia. She's an old friend. Hopefully she'll help us. We need to be quick, though. If the Overseer gets trace of our location, I'll bring the entire force of the collective down on our heads. Okay, let's get moving. And Mr. Donnelly, I'm sorry I never came by to see you. I got busy. Tessa, you have nothing to apologize for. None of Jenny's friends would have come by. Besides, you were far from the only person to say you would. Now, come on, we've got another set of locks to crack. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm sure that's part of the story we will see later. Arbiter has joined the party. What can Arbiter do? I don't know. I need to get to 13, and I have 6. So, double. And add 1. Okay, that seemed easy. I need to get 7. So I need a total to add 2. I can multiply by 2 and then subtract 3. Interesting. Oh wow, okay, so I jumped right into the next puzzle. We're in command tree right now. Actually quite a number of puzzles here. I wasn't sure exactly how many there would be. I have no idea what this is now. I'm guessing I have to add the 2 sides? Like this side and this side. Oh, I have to add all 3. Oh, this is the subtraction side. Interesting. Okay. I understand how that works, I think. The controls are a little weird, but it seems to be telling an interesting story and has some, so far, not terribly hard puzzles. Again, we're only a third of the way through the game, so it might get much more complicated later. I have a feeling that it might. But I think we're going to go ahead and call this Freeform Friday episode here. This has been Tessa's Ark. You can buy it on Steam right now, currently in early access. Seems to have a few bugs and some typos to work out, but overall the story seems to be there, the gameplay seems to be there. So if you like what you see, go ahead and take a look, check it out. It's currently $3. And thank you guys so much for joining me. See you next time.